Have you ever noticed that the moment someone says flannel shirt, you probably imagine the exact same thing? Soft fabric, button-up design, and almost always a plaid pattern. It's such a familiar combination that most people never stop to wonder if it has always been that way, or whether it even has to be. After all, plenty of fabrics come in every imaginable color and print. So why does flannel seem permanently tied to plaid? Is there an actual reason behind this pairing, or is it simply a fashion habit that never disappeared? Today, we're uncovering why flannel shirts always have plaid patterns, right here, on History of Simple Things. To understand the connection, it helps to start with flannel itself. Flannel is not a pattern at all. It's a fabric. Traditionally made from wool and later from cotton or synthetic fibers, flannel is known for its soft, slightly fuzzy surface created by brushing the fabric after it's woven. That texture traps warm air, making flannel especially comfortable in cool weather. The material first gained popularity in Wales several centuries ago before spreading across Britain and beyond. Long before flannel became a fashion statement, it was simply practical clothing for farmers, laborers, and anyone who spent long days outdoors. At this point in history, there was no rule saying flannel had to be plaid. Plaid, on the other hand, has an entirely different story. The familiar crisscrossing bands of color originated from woven tartans in Scotland, where different patterns often represented particular clans, regions, or families. Although modern ideas about clan tartans became more formal during the 18th and 19th centuries, checked fabrics had existed in various forms long before that. As Scottish textiles became more widely exported, the colorful patterns gained popularity outside Scotland as well. Manufacturers found that these woven checks were visually appealing, easy to reproduce, and excellent at hiding dirt and wear. By the time industrial textile production expanded during the 19th century, plaid fabrics had become common in workwear across Europe and North America, even when they no longer carried any family or regional significance. The connection between flannel and plaid grew stronger during the Industrial Revolution. Textile mills were producing flannel in large quantities, and manufacturers needed designs that appealed to working-class customers. Plaid turned out to be an ideal choice. The intersecting stripes were created by weaving dyed yarns rather than printing color onto finished fabric, making the patterns durable and resistant to fading. They also disguised stains, dust, and signs of heavy use better than plain-colored garments. Lumberjacks, railroad workers, miners, and farmers frequently wore plaid flannel shirts because they were practical, affordable, and rugged enough for demanding jobs. As photographs and advertisements from the era spread these images, the public gradually began associating plaid flannel with outdoor labor and dependable work clothing. That association only became stronger throughout the 20th century. Outdoor clothing companies promoted plaid flannel shirts as reliable garments for hunters, campers, and workers in colder climates. One of the most influential examples came from the famous red and black buffalo check pattern, which became widely recognized across North America after being popularized by the Woolrich Company in the mid-1800s. Although countless plaid variations existed, bold checks became closely linked with durability and life outdoors. By then, people weren't choosing plaid because flannel required it. They were choosing plaid because decades of advertising, tradition, and familiar imagery had made it feel like the natural pairing. Interestingly, flannel shirts do not always have plaid patterns. Solid colored flannel has existed for generations, and today it's available in nearly every color imaginable. Fashion brands also produce striped, floral, printed, and even graphic flannel garments. Yet these versions rarely become as iconic because they lack the visual identity people have grown accustomed to. When shoppers browse a clothing rack, a plaid shirt is immediately recognized as flannel even before anyone touches the fabric. This demonstrates how strongly visual associations influence consumer expectations. Over time, the pattern became part of the product's identity, even though it has nothing to do with how the fabric is actually made. The relationship between plaid and flannel has continued evolving with changing fashion trends. During the 1990s, the grunge movement brought plaid flannel back into the spotlight as musicians embraced thrift store clothing for its comfort and authenticity. Since then, the shirt has moved easily between outdoor wear, casual fashion, and even high-end designer collections. Despite these shifts, manufacturers still rely heavily on plaid because it instantly communicates a sense of warmth, durability, and timeless style. Even people who know that flannel refers only to the fabric often instinctively imagine plaid when they hear the word. Few clothing combinations have become so deeply rooted in popular culture that separating the material from the pattern feels almost unnatural. So, why do flannel shirts always have plaid patterns? The truth is that they don't, but history made it seem that way. Flannel earned its reputation as a warm, durable fabric, while plaid proved to be a practical and attractive pattern for hard-working clothing. As the two repeatedly appeared together through generations of workers, manufacturers, advertisers, and fashion trends, they gradually became inseparable in the public imagination. It's a reminder that some of the strongest traditions aren't created by rules or necessity, but by habit. The next time you see a plaid flannel shirt hanging in a store or folded in your closet, you'll know you're looking at more than just a piece of clothing. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.